how to create massive abundance in your life. Because the truth is that abundance is not just something that is external, but it's something that starts within you right now. Because most people are looking outside of themselves to feel abundance. Now, I'm not saying that money and success and relationships aren't a beautiful thing to get in life. In fact, if you have a desire to create these things, I would say fully own that desire. But the truth is that a lot of us are looking outside of us to feel that abundance now, when the truth is that feeling already exists within you now. So in this video, I'm going to share with you not just how to attract external abundance, but how to create the energetic foundation where you feel abundant in this present moment now, which will lead to the external abundance. And there's no other way to create that abundance, because if you do create it in any other way, you're not going to feel the joy and the peace and the fulfillment that already exists within you right here, right now. So here's what you have to do right now is that if you're new to this channel, what you got to do is you have to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one, apply for a free consultation by hitting the link that's in the description box of this video to see if you're a good fit for the coaching program. So the first step when it comes to creating massive abundance in your life is to realize that abundance is not something outside of you. Now, I understand that if you're not in a situation that you prefer to be in right now, if there's not the abundance that you want, maybe there's certain living conditions, maybe you're not in the place that you want to be, even if there's something external that you want to create, it's going to be much harder to create that abundance if you don't first internally align yourself with the present moment and the consciousness of who you really are. Because the truth is that abundance is not something that is outside of you. The money and the relationship and the success is just a permission slip to feel that abundance that is already within you. And that's the truth. The truth is that that abundance that you think exists outside of you actually already exists within you. And I call that the abundance frequency. Now, how do you tap into this? The truth is that when you start to become more present to the moment, when you start to connect deeply to the truth of who you really are beyond the conditioning of the mind, you start to feel that there is an abundance that already exists in this moment. Like, I can be totally honest with you right now, is that with the fact that I can feel abundance just simply sitting down and connecting deeply to the oneness of who I am. And I'm not trying to exaggerate here. Like, literally, if I sit down and I become intensely present to the moment and I just do nothing. Now, I'm going to share with you how to incorporate this into doing something, but first understand the foundation is sitting down and learning how to connect deeply to the present moment. Now, when you connect deeply to the present moment, you start to feel that there's this abundance and there's an aliveness that exists just connecting deeply to the moment, where you feel that this abundance doesn't actually exist outside of you, but you feel that, okay, there's an abundance that exists within me right now. Now, the more that I connect deeply to the present moment, what I found is that there's an abundance that already exists now. And all you have to do is just learn how to become present to the moment and prioritize your awareness and your consciousness and become very conscious and present to the moment. Start to feel into your body more. Start to notice what you're seeing. Notice that there's a presence in everything that you're looking at. Like, I kid you not, right now when I'm recording this video, I tap into this thing called the flow state, and I can tap into this pretty much any moment of the day, where I become so present with what I'm looking at, what I'm feeling, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, all the sense perceptions, the awareness in the background of it all. I start to connect very deeply. I notice my breathing. I notice my body. I notice what I'm looking at. My eyes don't wander. I focus on one thing. And then here's the thing, is that when your eyes wander, your mind wanders. So when you connect deeply to the present moment, your perception of reality starts to shift, and you start to feel more present to the moment, just simply being here now. And you'll be shocked to see that this abundance has been within you this whole time, but we forget because we're so lost in the past and the future and the conditioning of the mind. And then so I'm going to share with you how to align yourself with this state of abundance, because a lot of people don't align themselves. They are just focusing on how to be present to the moment, but they're not in alignment with that abundance frequency. But before you can get in alignment with that frequency, you have to first learn how to feel into that frequency and just be in that frequency without doing anything. Connect to the beingness of the frequency. And then when you connect to the beingness of the frequency, then you can start doing stuff. But it first starts with the being, realizing that a feeling of abundance comes from just being present to the moment and feeling deeply into who you really are. Feeling into your sense perceptions, into your feelings, into your emotions, noticing your breathing, becoming the observer of your thoughts rather than attaching to your thoughts, and just simply entering the present moment, realizing that the abundance already exists in this present moment now. So the second step to this is aligning yourself with that frequency. Once you learn how to align yourself with the feeling of abundance that already exists within you now, the next step is to align yourself with that state. Make it a goal and a priority to be as present to the moment as you possibly can. Because if you're feeling some heavy energy in your life right now, if you're not able to create the money that you want, if you're not able to create the success that you want, if you want to have a stronger business, you want to have more money, you're not going to be able to get there in the most efficient and practical way possible unless you have a deep connection to the present moment, unless you have a deep connection to the abundance that is here now. Because most people like to externalize their abundance, and they're continually chasing from a space of heaviness and a space of not having enough and needing more and wanting more. But the truth is that if you're continually chasing for the future for abundance, you're always going to be having that heavy feeling. And even if you get that abundance, you're still going to have heaviness in your body. You're still going to feel resistance because you didn't enter the abundance in the present moment. Even if you get the money, even if you get the success, even if you get the relationships, and I'm not saying that these things are bad. In fact, once again, fully own your desires. But what I am saying is that these things can be very limiting and deceive you, and they can confuse you into thinking that these things will give you abundance, and they may for a short while, but then what happens shortly after? The ego wants more. The ego is not satisfied. The ego wants the next thing. And all you had to do is become present to the moment and enjoy the process. And then those things would come easier. They become something that comes into your reality in a much more efficient way. And you're not going to have resistance. You're going to enjoy the process and you feel good either way. And that's the truth, is that you can feel good either way. You know, I'm growing my channel right now. I'm growing my business. And sometimes I feel resistance, but then the moment I start recording a video and I tap into the abundance frequency, there's no worries, there's no fears, there's nothing about the future, nothing about the past. Only when I start entering my mind and I start attaching to the past and the future, and I'm not in alignment with that abundance frequency. So when I'm thinking about the past, thinking about the future, I'm having anxiety, you see, in that specific moment in time, I am not in alignment with the abundance frequency. See, right now, I'm in total alignment with the abundance frequency in this present moment. Now, sometimes I can fall out of that, or I'm sitting down, checking my YouTube subscribers, thinking, when am I going to get the next subscriber? When am I going to get the next client? When am I going to make more money? That's not being in alignment with the abundance frequency. The best thing I can do is record this video, upload the video, be present to the moment while I do that, and then shift to the next thing with full presence and full engagement, and just move on. Go to the gym, take a call with the client, be present with whatever I'm doing. Still have a vision in mind, but stay aligned with that abundance frequency. It's about alignment. It's not just about meditating, feeling present, and then going back into your daily life, which is why I created the Awareness Mastery course, by the way. If you want to join that course, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. It's about meditation, connecting deeply to the abundance, and then learning how to align yourself with that abundance every single moment, realizing that every single moment is sacred. There's a sacredness and there's an aliveness to every single moment. And why would you want to be out of alignment with that sacredness and that aliveness? Why would you want anything else other than to be aligned with this present moment when this present moment is the only thing that exists. There's nothing outside of this moment. This is actually the only moment that exists. You see, the future is actually an illusion. The future is a conceptual created reality that exists within your consciousness, but it is in fact a projection, and so is the past. Now, when you get too lost in these things in a non-practical way, where there's resentment, fear, anxiety, regret about the past, fear about the future, that is the opposite of being aligned with the divinity of the present moment. Now, I understand that for some of you, it's like, Francis, this is not going to be practical. My living situation isn't how I want it. I don't have this, I don't have that. Francis, I don't have time for this present moment stuff. How do I attract external abundance? How do I attract more money? How do I attract more wealth, success, relationships? Well, here's the thing is that if you don't align yourself internally first, you're not going to be able to create that external abundance in your life in the most efficient and practical way possible. And even if you do, you will still feel lack in your frequency now. Because the truth is that if you want to feel happy, if you want to create abundance, which doesn't exist outside of you, abundance doesn't mean how much money you have. It doesn't mean how much relationships you have. It doesn't mean how much success you've gained. You're not going to take that with you when you die. What you will take with you is the love that you have for the present moment. That's what you take into the next life if you believe in that. And even if you don't believe in next, reincarnations and other lives, well, why are you really here? Are you here to chase for the future or to be in alignment with the sacredness of this present moment? Because I don't know about you, but I think that every single moment is sacred, and that I don't want to spend any moment in my life being in a high vibration state. And I don't want to spend any moment in my life not being in a high vibration state and enjoying the process of what I'm doing. Now, of course, there's challenges, but challenges don't imply suffering and pain. I can still be in alignment with the present moment and experience challenges. The difference is that my ego won't be resisting those challenges. You see, because there's always challenges, there's always things that come up in life, but are you going to resist those challenges? And are you going to fight against those challenges or go with those challenges and get you out of that negative situation that you're in? Because the most practical and most joyful and peaceful and most efficient way to get out of that negative situation, whether it be a house you don't want to be in, or you're in a toxic relationship with somebody, maybe you want to move out of your house, maybe you want to attract more money, maybe you want to create a business, whatever it is that your heart desires, which is okay, by the way, fully own that desire to create external abundance. But the quickest way to get there is first to align yourself internally with the abundance that is already here now. You see, because sometimes I used to make these videos and it would not be as relatable to, okay, Francis, one day I recorded a video called, how to never worry about money again. And I felt that it wasn't very practical. It wasn't very relatable. And I said, okay, Francis, you're saying that, all this abundance exists now, but what about if I have to pay the bills, then what? Well, are you going to be able to attract more money to pay the bills with a heavy negative attitude? Or are you going to attract more money to pay the bills in a frequency of abundance, being present to the moment and being grateful for the present moment and what you currently have? Because the actions that you take from the alignment of the present moment are much more powerful actions than alignment with ego and fear and anxiety and worry. Because when you take actions from the abundance frequency, when you take actions from the present moment, the actions are very, very powerful. And it's almost like the universe is supporting you to take perfect actions. I would not be able to record these videos in an unconscious state and have the most highest quality videos possible. That's why I have to protect my energy and do meditations and isolate myself from certain people before I can record this kind of video. Now, I'm not saying I have anything against any people, but you got to create some boundaries, and that's also being in alignment with the presence of the moment and the abundance frequency. knowing how to create boundaries, knowing how to be aligned in every single moment. Like, I know I'm stressing this second point pretty hard, but it's because most people don't see the significance of actually being aligned in every single moment with the present moment. Now, if you fall out of alignment, don't judge yourself. Just notice that judgment and choose to step back into the present moment. It's a choice. It's a choice to step into the moment. It's not a choice when your ego pulls you back and you become unconscious. That's not really you. That's the patterns taking control. But when you've noticed that the patterns take control, what you can really do, like the only thing you can do is just choose to step back into the moment and realign yourself. Don't dwell too much on the past. Don't dwell too much in the future. It happens. You know, I can get out of alignment. I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at all these subscribers. Like, when am I going to get the next subscribers? I start noticing, like, no, I'm out of alignment right now. I shift back into the moment and then see where that takes me. You see, when you're in alignment with the moment, you take very powerful actions. And I want to, for the last time, stress the significance of being aligned with the moment every single moment. It's not just about meditating and then going back to your unconscious way of living. The unconscious patterns can come up, I understand. But when you notice that, just shift back to the moment. Make it a priority to, once you learn how to tap into that abundant state, to maintain that state as much as you can. Just stay in that state as much as possible. Fully own that. Doesn't mean there's not going to be challenges. Doesn't mean that you're not going to occasionally experience negativity in your life, negative people, but then work through that, accept that, surrender to the moment, and then shift back into the abundance frequency. So the third sign is take consistent action from that state. Take consistent and inspired action from the state of abundance. Okay, for me, it's recording a video daily. It's recording guided meditations for you. It's talking to people from a state of presence. It's going to the gym while I'm totally present in the moment, totally being aligned with this now, which is the only moment that exists. And then I continually take action from that state. Now, of course, there's a balance where I take no action and I meditate, but that can also be an action, so to speak, where you're still aligned with the moment. From that alignment means taking action on your vision and your purpose. And I think that's where a lot of people can slip up in the law of attraction and spiritual community, is they think that they don't need to take action. Now, I'm not saying that you have to work hard and take action from a hustle mindset. It's about not just taking smart action, but taking conscious, present to the moment action, which then makes the action easy, because when you're aligned with the moment, action doesn't feel hard. Action feels easy. Action is something that requires not as much effort because you're enjoying the process and you're really enjoying what it is that you do. Now, that is the key to create effortless abundance in your life, is to not just align yourself with the moment, not just to meditate, but then continually taking action from that state. You're not going to have an issue creating what it is that you want if you continually take action from that state. That's just the truth. Because the truth is that if you learn to meditate, if you learn to enter the abundance frequency, if you make it a priority to enter that state as much as possible, and then allowing that to lead to taking the actions, that 3-step process that I just shared with you, that you can do, by the way that you start that is by meditating, by connecting deeper to the moment, that will lead to your passion and your dream life that will end up externally reflecting as external abundance. That is the truth. If you align yourself with these 3 things, not only are you going to feel joy, not only are you going to feel peace, not only are you going to allow the moment to be as it is, but from this acceptance and this allowing of the moment, of feeling abundance now, will lead you to take inspired actions that don't feel difficult, that will then lead you to the abundance that your soul really desires. You'll end up getting out of that heavy situation in a much easier way. You'll end up letting go of that heaviness in your experience. You'll end up stepping into the abundance frequency in a much easier way. You'll end up creating more money to pay the bills. You'll end up attracting that relationship. You'll end up doing this. And even if you don't, you're aligned with the frequency of abundance and you don't care. Now, you're probably going to create those things anyway because you're in the abundance frequency. But the point is that the more you align yourself, it is a win-win in all aspects of your life. So that's all I have for you today. If you want to download my free guided meditation that's specifically designed to connect you to that present moment abundant state, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. I'll also leave it as a top comment in this video. So try it out. It's totally free. That's all I have for you today. Have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.